All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew episode 1093 on this beautiful Thursday evening. It is the last Studying Brew of the week. It is the last free of the week. But if you're a member, the party doesn't stop there. We have day sessions tomorrow. We've got that. What is it?
Hall, all 26.
Yes. We got all that going on tomorrow. So make sure that if you're a member, you check out for that reminder in the morning. All that access is going to be there. And we are still using the April code. So if you are a member, we have not switched over to May because it is a new month and we start new Zoom codes on the month. But we will not start till Monday on the new one. So if you haven't gotten the new May one, don't worry, don't stress. Or if you have the new May one, don't use it till Monday. Uh, but the access code that is currently needed will be in that reminder tomorrow. So no stress there either. So make sure to note that we will be switching it up on Monday when you go back on. All right. With that, my name is Andy. I am the guy that runs the back office, as you can tell, of KonaButterflyz. I'm the one that lets everybody know what's up. But you're not here for that. You're here for Brandy. She goes out her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you too can get a pass notice. No fuss, no muss. It'll be great. And you can get your pass notice and be leveling up, leveling up, leveling up, level up. And so we've been talking all week about consistency. We're talking about discipline. And nothing is more important than having discipline and a routine and definitely consistency when it comes to a weekend. We got the weekend coming up. We got Mother's Day right after that, right? And then we it's just like a whole new month. We got Mother's Day, then we're right into June already, right? And then we're at the 6 month mark for the year. Like 6 months into this year is already around the corner. So all of those who made all those commitments that I'm gonna strap down, I'm gonna get serious about it. I'm gonna be more committed than ever. I wish I had $1 for every time I heard that. More committed than ever I've ever been. I'm recommitting this weekend. I'm recommitting this week. I'm recommitting this year. I'm recommitting this month. Look, you're at the 6 month already. Stop playing around. Stop fooling. Go get your schedule in order. You are slowly running out of time for 2025 to get this thing done. And some of you are putting the numbers on it, and you're like, well, I could do it in 30, I could do this 6. Yeah, that's true, but it's not true. You got to always act with urgency. Always stop laying back. Stop. There's a big thing that people do, and it's called procrastination. It is a disease that affects many Americans across this United States. It's called procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get to it next week. I'll get to it next month. The best way to battle procrastination, I hope you guys write this down. The way to beat procrastination is instant action. That's how you beat procrastination. I need to study. Do it now. I didn't study it. Do it now. I need to read. Do it now. I need to do it now. Every time. Every time it comes to mind, every time you think you need to do something, do it now. You know why? Because later never comes and neither does tomorrow. Never does. Never does. Never ever. It doesn't.
My mom used to tell me all the time, tomorrow never gets here.
What's the other old one that, what's the one that grandma used to tell you? Oh man, what was that one? It went in my head and went out the other. Something about time. Can't remember. It'll come to me.
It keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking.
That was not my grandma. That was not my grandma was not that hip. She was born in 1932. She was not listening to Pink Floyd. She was not that cool. Abuela did not listen to that. No, she did not. But time is always going. It is always moving. And if you're thinking that tomorrow is going to be there, the next time is going to go, it's not, and you won't get it done. And why wait? Why wait for what you can do today for tomorrow? Something like that. That's what grandma used to say.
Why put off today what you can do? Wait, why put off tomorrow what you can do today?
There you go. That's it. That's the one I was thinking of. Why put off tomorrow what you can do today?
I also heard that a lot.
I've heard it a million times. Grandma always tell you that, right? But it's true. So if you haven't done it already, get on a schedule, get a plan together, get this thing moving, and work on it this weekend. Stop saying that I'm going to get it done. And if you don't have a plan, you need to get one with us on the Kona Butterfly. Sign up for that membership. Get it done already. Do it. I know there's others that are free. I know there's others that are out there. But ours is the best, to be honest with you. It's a 21-day plan instead of a 6 to 8 week program. There's people in our Kona community on the Discord that you can check in with. Brandy's there to help you out. You got questions that are coming up on there. Tag her in one of your questions on the Discord, and she'll answer it. She'll help you get through that study session. Somebody will. Jamie helps out. Eric's on there sometimes. Tim's on. There's a lot of people on there that just stop in there and they just want to answer some questions. Diana really needs to start answering some questions if she's going to get this thing done, because helping out others helps you. It really does. If you can explain to someone else, it really helps you. Ask my son in his chemistry grade. Study programs. We got course videos. We got that all, so you can do that at any time, anywhere, as long as you got internet, right?
Yep.
You can do that anytime, anywhere. And then those live sessions, those are scheduled. But guess what? That shows you everything that you learned in the content. You can go ahead and do that. How you do that in the and a test and a quiz. How to get that done. So you watch the content anytime, and then you get in those live sessions. Brandy's showing you how to apply it, showing you some tips, tricks, and techniques, and those exam masteries, trying to pull it all together so it all makes sense in the exam. In fact, we've had some passers lately that said exactly that. I didn't know what's up until I got in that exam, and then everything you said came together. That's when you want it to come together, guys. Not on your Q banks, but in those real exams. It really does come together if you're paying attention. If you're doing the Kona program, you're not getting caught up in all the QBank nonsense, and you're just really doing the program, you can really get that done. Bless you.
Excuse me, surprise.
Yes. All right. So if you haven't done it, scan the QR code, hit the links, phone number 951-290-3077. Give me a call, give me a text, email at KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. Also, check out our Instagram. Are you going to do that again?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
Feel like you're loading up.
Sorry, Kona. I'm good. Oh.
There you go. All right. Tomorrow, this is what we got going on. Kona Study Hall, Kona Exam Mastery, the 26th. Beyond. Get that April code. Remember, it's the April one. And we'll be doing that. And if you want to try out a live session, if you want to be in that Kona Study Hall, if you want to be in that Kona Exam Mastery, and you're not a member yet, and you're watching this, let's see how many people are paying attention. You want to join in, give me a message and I will send you the code so you guys can check out how those go for a little trial tomorrow, and then join up, and that way you get the code for Monday and continue on. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Go. Tonight is the Serious 6. We're going to go through 6 different exams, 6 different questions. Brandy's going to do this with 6 different answers, and they're going to give you a little content, little technique. So it's going to be a little bit of everything that we've been showing you all week long, using those observation skills, looking at how to make those connections with those keywords, using the techniques, answering the question with a little bit of technique, a little bit of content like we did last night. So are you ready, Brandy? Let's go.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Switch my.
Yep.
Okay. Can I do this?
Okay.
Get this closer. Okay.
Yes.
All right. The designated.
Always like being you.
Examining. Hold on. Breathe. The designated examining authority.
The DEA?
Yeah.
Not Drug Enforcement Agency?
That's what I thought. The first
different exam.
Right. B is FINRA for OTC stocks, the board of directors, or the exchange for a listed stock.
The BOD.
It's the BOD. Okay, so if you guys notice, I purposely underlined the 2 parentheses. Sorry, wow, words are so difficult today. The 2 parentheses, but I also underlined the specificity of OTC stocks and listed stocks. Not content yet. There's nothing content based here. It's just observations and what I'm pulling out. Okay. So I'm going to go to the question. I'm going to go to the question. Thank you. And it says the X date, it's almost like you got this question before. The X date for a mutual fund dividend is set by whom? So we needed to know mutual fund and who it's set by. So that's why we can cross off OTC stocks and a listed stock, because the question is specifically talking about a mutual fund dividend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, without getting into too many details, but doesn't examining authority either sound like a test or an audit?
I would have never guessed audit.
I was,
to be honest with you,
examining you. Either way, it doesn't sound like mutual funds.
No, not at all.
That's,
I would have never put audit there, but no, it does not.
And that's why I got the answer.
I would have said the board of directors decides what mutual fund dividends and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How much are we going to pay out?
Yeah.
Not the people that give you an exam.
No. See, that's how you do that. Okay. So I've introducing fully disclosed, full service, clearing agent, carrying agent, and market making. So again, just going through here, I could question this.
Market maker.
Full service means
market
everything. This is in the title, obviously clearing, carrying, and market making means making a market.
Genesis C has a slash.
So does A.
Yes.
And then there you go. Boom. Boom. Now, if you were studying the 26,
yes,
you know this so very much.
Like Denise Davis, who passed the Series 26 with us. Congratulations. On to the 65.
That's right. But we're going to go a little bit light on the content first.
Eric didn't pass the 26, huh?
Not yet.
No.
Nah. He's going the 65 route first.
Yeah.
So it says a broker-dealer's model allows only for the purchase and sale of securities. It does not execute, settle, or clear. It's telling you in the question that it is not clearing. Nor does it tend to any back office functions such as setting trade confirmations. So that doesn't even sound like full service, right? It's not doing things.
It's not doing everything.
And anything in there, does that sound like anything about markets?
No.
That is why the answer is A.
Even though you don't understand what introducing and fully disclosed means.
Exactly. Guys, never, ever, ever underestimate the power of process of elimination.
Right. But I don't know.
Who cares?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't sound like any of the other three.
I don't know what's going on.
Last man standing. Remember
what I said last night. Repeat after me. I only need to pass.
You only need to pass. That's what I call connecting. You can connect backwards or forwards. All right. Sell to close. Buy to open. Buy to close. Sell to open. I'm just trying to similars, right?
Right.
Okay. So buying obviously is buying. Selling is obviously selling.
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
Right.
Okay.
Either a customer or I'm the vendor.
Right. Close is the second thing you do because you can't usually close a door before you open the door.
That is true.
Right. Or we talk to or like we know that there's like the golf open, right? The US golf opening.
Don't ask me about
surf
no
open.
Don't ask me about no tennis, golf.
Right.
If they don't punch each other in the face, I don't watch it.
Yeah. Doesn't tennis have an open as well?
Baseball used to have punching and hitting. So it's weird that I watch it, but yeah.
Right. And then I don't care about the stocks because they all say QRS. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I just need to focus on selling and buying. And then is it the first or the second thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So in the question, it says your client, Jane Anderson, has owned QRS for a few years.
Has owned it. Means she doesn't own it anymore.
No. But now has turned bearish. So she owns it. She's hey, you have that car for a few years.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No.
But
I'll go with you.
Thank you. So the first has already happened.
It is true. If she's already owned it, it's not the first.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's the point you're making.
Yes.
Sorry.
I was
trying not to be difficult.
Right. Now, bearish, here's the content piece of this. Bearish means that you think the market is going down. And if you think the price of something is going down, that means you want to sell it.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Right. So
I need it to be at the highest price when I sell it.
exactly. So that leaves A.
Dun 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 dun, dun. Bump bump.
Do you guys see that? I don't answer. I do it in sections.
You took it apart.
I took it
You
apart.
dissected it.
Look, there's no reading here. There's no reading. There's no critical thinking.
Look, and I know on the other, I know there's ways to learn this stuff, and I know Brandy teaches it, how the why to sell, why to close, all that stuff. But you know what? Let's be honest with ourselves. It's really hard to keep it straight when you're in the exam and you got the pressure of maybe having not just the test, but having to go to the bathroom because you drink too much water, and now you're in that exam room and you're not thinking straight, right?
Right.
And you can't remember all this stuff, and everything seems all cluttered and confused. Is the gas on in my stove? Did I leave the water for the kids? I don't know.
Leave water. Yes, exactly.
Kids can't drink out of tap anymore.
No, you're right though. All right. Receive approval from FINRA district office. Provide prior written notice to and receive written permission from. This is approval. That's what we call when we're waiting for permission. That's called approval. Mm-hmm. Choose her occupation. You can't do both. This is simply not true. We have plenty of examples of how you can do two things. So that's just simply not true. So I'm going to leave it though hanging just in case this is a not true question. And then provide prior written notice to an employing firm. Notice is either an OBA or a no comp PST. But this is talking about
no comp Pacific Standard Time.
Private securities transaction. But if I'm looking at my answer choices, transaction, I'm squeezing that in there. It's talking about occupation, isn't it?
Yes.
Wouldn't this sound like
yes?
That
it is
a business. I like
outside business activity.
I like D the best. Let's go to the question just in case. What the heck?
What? They got to hit me with that.
I'm not, guys. Look, I'm going backwards.
Yeah, I was going to say that's how I usually do it, but I'm
going backwards. Rules regarding outside business activity, OBA, Marcia must. Didn't we already say we like this one?
Pick it. A lot of times people think these are tips and tricks and techniques to not have to study, and that's how you can get right answers without studying. Like, you do have to know some content. Yeah. There's no denying it. But like I said on the previous one, sometimes it helps get through it when you're not as clear. This one right here, look how overloaded that question is. And it's really not that difficult of a question.
And if you are a member and have our study guide or our quick guides, you guys are getting this locked in, this simple.
Already.
OBA, notice. No comp, notice. That makes sense? We teach you guys how to keep it on the surface level like this.
Just gotta pass.
Okay. This question comes up frequently, and I noticed that this brand changed the way they present these answers.
They're trying to message you, Brandy.
Because I have this thing where it is called a hypothecation agreement. It's called B, a credit agreement. And normally it's called C, the consent to loan form.
Right.
And then D is an account agreement. That is actually a thing. So then we would say, well, if that's actually supposed to be an account form, then this is the answer simply because it's different, because this is the one that's optional. The other three are required. That's where your
think about how the trickery of this, because it's not going to be this tricky on the exam. I refuse to believe it. But consent to loan, when have you ever heard a consent to loan agreement? It's always a contract. It's always a form, right, that you got to fill out. They got to go do some credit checks. There's always this thing with loaning you money, right? It's never an agreement. Like, we just go in there and handshake it. Yeah, I agree to pay you back. I got you on Tuesday. Not how it works.
So
I'm just saying this is I mean, I know there's probably more content to that, but for me in my brains, that's how
I was just looking at the word consent and agreement. That's how do you
I would need a
to
form.
agree?
I would need a form for that.
Yeah. Like you don't agree. Like it's just
The agreement part doesn't make sense.
guys, it's not called that.
No.
It's not called that. This brand question bank particularly is trying. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
We know you're watching.
We know you're watching.
Don't try to be tricky.
Required except the consent form. The consent form is the one that's optional. Consent is not required because then otherwise it's not called consent. It's called an agreement. Anyways, Federal Deposit Insurance, the FDIC. We know that this is banks. Why? Because it says deposits.
I see it always on the bank door.
Right. Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Options.
In Chicago.
Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. The boss.
FINRA, who we follow for all of our study material and all of our stuff that we have laid out here.
Exactly.
If you follow KonaButterflyz, we follow FINRA and their outline.
Exactly. And then again, we have another bank. Is this are we studying for securities or are we studying for the banking industry?
The last time I checked, Brandy, it would be securities.
Right. So I'm kind of not digging A or D.
Right.
Right. All right. Question. What the heck again? So let's just go backwards. Right. We're going to go that way. Which of the following does the MSRB rely on for enforcement? It's probably tells you in that huge long question that they don't enforce their own rules. So how about we go with the authority? Who do they rely on enforcement? The authority. And also it says financial industry. It doesn't say options. It doesn't say banks. I'm not even
say Chicago is.
It doesn't. And it says MSRB. We're not even reading the question.
Why would it be Chicago?
But that's specific. Exactly. Guys, that's the answer.
Chicago's got good pizza.
So I've heard.
Well, it's deep dish.
Yeah.
Got to wait 45 minutes for it.
I think that was the last one. That was the last one.
One slice will get you, though. I went off tangent.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. I've had Chicago pizza before. It was delicious.
It's a lot. Yeah. All right, everybody. We made it. That was 6. We did it. That's all there is to it. Talked about pizza. We talked about how easy it is. We talked about you don't really need to go that deep into the content at all. And guys, sometimes if you see a question that just doesn't make sense, it doesn't register, you don't understand why that is a thing, it's probably not a thing. And it's probably it's probably the thing that you were very much looking for. Remember to map it out. But most importantly, this weekend, remember to stay consistent, put it in your schedule. And if it looks like you have a busy one this weekend, guess what? Do it in the morning. Get it done over and done with in the morning before everybody gets up, before this chaos begins. You can do it. You're worth it. What do I mean by you're worth it? You're worth getting up for in the morning. You're worth putting your future first. You're worth building your business in the morning because y'all know if it was a job and they required you to get up at 4 a.m., y'all be doing it to build someone else's business, to do someone else's job. Guess what? It's your life, your business, your destination. It is your dream. It is your licenses. You are doing something for you. So if it means setting that clock at 4 a.m. to do what no one else wants to do and getting that study session in before the whole chaos done, just so you can get that time in, then you better do it. You better do it because you don't want to fall off. You don't want to get a good weekend in where nothing happened and you're back at it again Monday and saying my favorite words that I hear every weekend. I'm recommitting on Monday. I mean it this time. All right, everybody. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep the positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you guys so much for being on. We so super appreciate you. Practice these techniques and surface level content in your quizzes. We will see you guys next time. Have a great one.